Hi, and welcome back to Out of the Box Creative Makeup. Today's creative makeup is an illusion makeup where I'm going to take my face from this to this. The thing I love so much about this creative makeup is that it goes right on top of your face, and there's no type of prepping for the blocking of the eyebrows or any type of reshaping that you need to do. So if you have a beard, if your face is feminine, whatever it is, it all goes with it, which is super awesome. Today we're going to be starting with a cream stick blend, the Mehron cream stick blend. This is just in pure white. I like to go starting with the white. It gives me a sense of an outline, so when I go back with the darker colors and the blacks and things like that to fit it in, then I know exactly where I'm going. Okay, I use a very thin pencil brush. Okay, so I go in there and make sure that there's lots of product. Okay, and we apply. Today's look, I'm going to have the shadow coming from the center of my forehead, or like right above my eyebrows, so right here in the center of the face. So when I'm doing the shadow, everything is going to go through there. So I'm going to start with the bigger pieces and understanding where I'm going with that. And this first application is really just about setting. It's kind of like a spider web, right? So when you set the spider web, they're going to set first the bigger pieces, and then they're going to go in and add in all the little levels to it. So today we're going to start with that. And if I were to do this makeup again, all of these lines would be different. So what you notice as I was doing this really is organic. And so when I'm going through the pieces, I'm going to kind of fill in some of these pieces that I feel like are going to be completely blacked out. And so thinking about as something shatters, there's gonna be pieces that are gonna kind of fall off. And I wanted to connect in here. And there's a few spaces, and once again, because I'm doing the cream, if I don't like it when I'm starting to add in the detailing, then I can remove it. Very simple, because this is a cream-based makeup, so it makes it super simple to remove. But I'm going to add in just a few more finishing touches, so I feel the shadow effect is really apparent and obvious. And I'll be with you for the next step. Okay, got all the lines set in. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to set these with just a standard translucent setting powder. And once again, using the Estetica that I got off of Amazon. Link is in the description. But super simple. Just getting enough on here and going to set the white lines. All right, and with a nice fluffy brush, go ahead and dust off all the excess here. One of the things that I love so much about doing the white base on this illusion is that when we go in with the darker, that slight lightness underneath it, even if it's not as thick as the black, shows a little bit of a highlight, which is really interesting near the cracks because it shows that difference, kind of the juxtaposition between those two colors, which creates a lot of really cool depth and realism to that spot. Okay, so now that we got all of the extra powder off, we're going to go in now with the actual black color. And what I'm going to be using today is I'm going to be using another grease paint with this. I love just a standard, the flash colors with this. Once again, off of Amazon, super cheap. And going in with the same brush, similar brush size, with the black is now we're going to go through and now add in the black detailing to this process. Two tips that I like to do when I'm doing especially these fine lines is, number one, the brush itself needs to be as small as possible. That helps you to be able to get as much detail within there. But also too, I put my my elbow on the table on a steady surface. So as I'm going through the lines, allows me to be able to have a little bit more control, rather than if I'm holding it, there's a little bit of that shakiness that sometimes occurs. All right, so now we're gonna start adding in just a little bit more detail. So I'm gonna take a flat eyeshadow brush and just use kind of just a standard contour palette. I'm going for a little bit of the darker. What we're gonna do is we're gonna create shadows within some of the lines. Now we're gonna do all over the place, but we're gonna be very strategic about certain places, and we're going to create shadow. So what I'm trying to do is, and I've already done some of the one down here, is I'm going in and just right touching the line and creating a little bit of depth. Now with this, because we are using that grease paint, it's going to mix with the foundation a little bit, the contour, and that's okay, because what we're going to do is we're going to go back through and stencil or use an eyeliner pen to make the black even more black. Okay. Going up with this. And what you notice, it's so subtle, but you can see a little bit of a dip there. Just maybe we'll stick there. We'll correct that in a second. I get asked a lot about, like, why am I doing this? Why am I doing creative makeup? I was a band director for over 14 years, and then all of a sudden, I'm doing makeup and, presenting this kind of stuff on social media platforms. And, one of the things I'll say is number one, this is just self-expression. It's art. I think it's so important to be able to express yourself in whatever it is, if it's music, if it's acting, or, even on social media platforms like TikTok and dancing and all that stuff. Whatever it is, you need to have something in your life that allows you to be able to be expressive. And, the other part is that, when I came up with the title of kind of what I'm doing, which is Out of the Box, creative makeup, a lot of that is because for the longest time, I have been, as I say, put in a box most of my life. I've been put in a box. I was a teacher and I had to act a certain way. I had to hide certain things. Growing up, that was, also a little bit of, there were certain ways that you had to act, the do's and don'ts. And who I was as a person didn't necessarily, wasn't accepted. And I always thought something was wrong with me. And to make people happy, I stayed inside the box. And now I'm 38 years old. I am going to be 39 in April. And I'm starting to realize that I didn't know who I was. I was miserable in my situation that I was teaching because of the toxic, such a toxic environment. And I needed out. And it was so crazy because, at the time it was like I had no clue. I'm 38 years old. I've been doing teaching for so long. What in the world am I doing? And I was able to find makeup as a form of self-expression. And mind you, I'm self-taught. Like, I have not taken any classes other than looking at some YouTube videos and things like that of some incredible artists out there. But that's really where I got started. I wanted something that was mine, that no one else was trying to tell me what to do and how to do it. And so I was able to find makeup. And which is, for people that have known me for so long, we're probably incredibly shocked and surprised, like, oh my gosh, what is Brandon doing? But I think that's really what it is. For me, this is for me, and I'm creating my art. I'm wanting to, it's, a form of my self-expression and just putting beauty out there in all forms. And I just tell you, for anybody that's watching, like, you need something in your life that's yours. You need something in your life that you do because it makes you happy. And whatever that is, if it's, if it's painting, if it's drawing, if it's writing, just finding that thing in your life that you love very much, and you would do it even if you were paid or not paid. And that's what this whole process has been for me. It's really self-expression. And out of the box is because I'm finally, for the first time in my life, stepping outside of the box of what other people think I should be. And, whatever that means to you and whatever resonates that for you, I think it's, just know that it's, it is never too late. It is never too late to start again. It's never too late to pick up new things and to try new things. And I would also, say it's never too late just to be yourself and to express yourself. All right, so now that we've added in all of the dark contour, we're going to go back in with our same little thin brush, our same little cream stick, and we're going to go in. Okay, we're going to go in and add little teeny tiny highlights in certain parts of this face. Light. Be touching. Notice how it's very light, nothing too crazy. And I like to add it to the opposite side of where maybe there's a lot of darkness. And it creates really cool contrast effect there. And it's super, super small. Okay. Once we've applied all the white where we want it, I go in with a clean brush, just a nice rounded brush, and I lightly go over the white to diffuse and kind of blend it into the area above it. So we're not going into the black, we're going into our skin tone space. And what you'll notice is it helps to kind of smoke out that space and makes it look a little bit more of a natural line. And the last step, which is to go back over all of the black, if you see it's kind of smoked out a little bit across the face, is then we're going to go back over with a NYX Professional Makeup, this Epic eyeliner. I love how large the tip is, and you're able to get such a great finish on these. I have so many of them because I go through them all the time, especially with this Illusion makeup. But I'm going to go back over all of the black, and you're going to be able to see how the contrast of now the white with the shadowing that we have with the contour, and now with this Epic pen. And here you have it, final look. So obviously I kind of went in and messed around with the center a little bit. The great thing is, once again, you can do whatever you want, the shape as much as little as you want, and the shape, you can go down your neck. Super simple, super fast, and a really creative way to create this image. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Please hit like and subscribe, and we'll have more content coming your way. Thanks, bye.